Hi, this is Beanie here. Can you guys see my screen right now in YouTube? If you can, and if you can hear me, please type a 1 so that you can let me know at the chat box. We are starting at about, I think, 7:33. All right, so let's wait a little bit while for more to come in. Okay, I can see a lot of ones right now. Thanks a lot. All right. As usual, my next question would be, have you had your dinner? If you had your dinner, please type a 2. Okay, I also had my dinner because I didn't have my lunch. So usually what I would do is I will skip lunch, more like I would have slightly later breakfast because I am always up quite early at about 6:10, sometimes 5:40. Then by the time I exercise, send my children to school, blah, 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 then the time that I can have my breakfast is about 9. Yeah, so that's why I skipped lunch and I just head straight for dinner today. Oh yes, I can see a lot of familiar names. Thanks a lot for joining. We would be just waiting for about 7:33 to start for more people to come inside. What do I eat for breakfast? Well, I usually have an egg, avocado, maybe one piece of bread, but sometimes I don't have bread. Oat. I remember that I ate oat for 3 months. There was once. Yeah. Just oat, plain oat without anything, where you have that oat, raw oat, and then you cook it. That's it. Maybe sometimes I'll add just some nuts inside. Yeah. I like clean breakfast now. I like clean lunch also, but usually I don't take lunch. If I take lunch, then maybe some yogurt. Yeah. And then I have a slightly more complicated dinner because of my children. That's it. Yeah. I don't have a lot of motivation or drive to eat. So some people live to eat, right? I eat to live. So I'm the other side. Yeah. So I would do exercise every morning, really every morning. Sometimes, like an hour and 10 minutes. So strength, cardio, but basically to stretch because I sit quite long time. So because I've been working on this program as well as the indicator, the programming, the strategy. So it gets a little bit of a ache here. Yeah. Okay, so it's 7:33. Let's get started because I want to make sure that those who are here early, all right, we can start punctually. Okay, thanks a lot for joining. Again, let's take a look at the disclaimer here. Whatever that I'm going to cover today would be purely educational. Okay, yes, great that if you can give this streaming a thumbs up to say that you like it or some love. Okay, so for those who do not know me, my name is Beanie. What I like to share, right, is I like to share my experience. And so far, if you had been to my sessions, it's mostly into trading Forex, into indexes, and some CFDs, etc. Right? Mainly Forex, oil, gold indexes. But today, I want to give you a little bit of a different perspective, which is to look into stocks. Okay, not saying that I didn't do stocks, because if students have been with me, and you know that at times, right, when there's an opportunity, I would be talking about stocks, as and when that I myself am interested, not always, but then when there's an opportunity, I will talk about stocks. If you read my newspaper interviews, there's mostly on STI, financial world, what's happening right now. So they covers the indexes, sometimes on Forex as well, and gold, but also mostly on stocks, right? So yes, I do stocks, okay? It's just that from the branding position point of view, I've always branded and positioned myself in the Forex, in the indexes, and that's why people known me, right, as the Forex, should I say girl? Forex lady. I don't know what I should call myself. Should I call myself a girl? No, right? I don't think so. I'm too old to be a girl already. So maybe Forex person? Yeah, I think so. But anyway, that's my background here, right? Okay. So, if you know me, all right, then I use a lot of automations, and today I'd like to show you how you can use automation to help you. All right, but to be very, very frank, there are courses which I want to sell to you, but also the good news is that these courses come with 100% cashback. That means that you do get back all the course fee plus a lot more. Okay, and we just launched a new course that has Tradingview indicators inside, and as well as a lot more focus into stocks just this week. Okay, so it's just hot, all right, and my students are just signing up. Okay, so they're just on his way to sign up. So today I will talk about this one, but I do hope that you can understand and you can get things out from this session here. Don't waste your time. Let's try to hope that these can benefit you. But I want to have a disclaimer. There are a lot more things I can share, but it's limited in a 1.5 hour session. That means that as part as what I can tell you, there's still limitation. For example, if you ask me where's the stop loss, where's the target profit, but there are many, many layers of things to consider. Okay, for example, target profit is not something where I could just talk about it in just one sentence. Okay, so we need to take a look at what is this particular trend, how to draw from here to here, what to consider these and that, etc. Okay, so there are things that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to give you partial information and then you use it and then it doesn't help you. Okay, but anyway, the cost comes with 100% cashback. But try to, I mean, if you don't want to take the course, it's fine, but try to ask me as much as questions. If those that I can answer, I will definitely answer you. Okay, so one of the common questions that people ask me is that if you are richer from trading, and why aren't you retiring, and why aren't you not still doing this one? Okay, I tried retiring when I was about 35, okay, but I came back at 38 because I thought that 3 years was really boring for me. I realized that it's a myth, okay, to retire because we need to do something, okay. I mean, if you look at Warren Buffett, he's so old already and he's still investing. It's the passion inside, okay, it's the joy of getting it right, okay. So I'm not retiring, but can I retire with my portfolio and not do any work? Yes, and I hope that you can do that, okay. And next is that a lot of people thought that I don't do the US market. No, I do. And if you are my students, you know that I covered some of the US stocks as well. Only when it's getting interesting, only when it's worth it, okay, to look at it, right? Because I'm after low-hanging fruits. That's my style. Low-hanging fruits means that trades, right, that can make money. I'm not there to trade to lose money, all right? So that's why I only go in when conditions are good, okay? So that's my style, right? Okay, so what I like to do is I like to ensure that whatever that I've covered during Saturday is something that you've understood, and some of you I've assumed might not have attended my Saturday sessions, so I'm just going to go through that concept again, right? And with more examples and how you can configure certain configurations inside, like for example, where to add your moving averages, where to add the boxes that I've shown you, and then how to further analyze that, and also talk about the cost. Okay, so do stay tuned towards the end, and I will be sending you a copy of my handout because I think that there's a lot of information that I'm going to go through, so I guess that you will need a copy of the handout, and you can watch the video again by using the YouTube link. Okay, you can send the YouTube link to your friends if you think that this is good. All right, so let's talk about the simple, unattractive but mind-blowing method which I covered. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw this, and if you do have any questions, please ask me directly in the YouTube chat. Okay, so that's the fastest way to get to interact with me. Okay, so first, let's talk about when things are moving up. Okay, uptrend means that you want to buy, right? You want to buy when it's an uptrend. But put on the other side of the hat. If you want to buy, do you want to buy high or do you want to buy low? Let me know. Do you want to buy high or do you want to buy low? Put it up in the chat. I think this is a very easy question, but I just want to make sure that we are, the same frequency. Okay. So for those who are not able to interact with me in the chat, that's because I'm not sure whether this one needs subscription or not. I'm so sorry I didn't set this one up, but basically you want to buy low, right? But low doesn't mean that it's falling, okay? But the whole idea is that it must be coming down before you would want to buy. Because how do you buy low, right? When you want to buy low, it has to come down, because you cannot buy when it doesn't come down, right? So when it's coming down, price would not come down in a straight line. It would come down in a what we call a zigzag manner, where you're able to find that price had a high point and the next high is a lower high. So this is LH here, and this one is a lower high, and the low here, it's a lower low as you compare to the previous low, and price make a lower low. So this is how price will always move when it moves down. Okay, it has to do with human psychology, which I will not elaborate here because this is not important. Okay, so it will be coming down in this downward movement here. All right, now what I need you to do is I need you to spend about 10 seconds to just remember this pattern here, because it's very important and I need you to remember this pattern. Okay, now I know that if I give you 10 seconds, I will not be giving 10 seconds, right? But basically just stare at it and just capture that in your mind to say that I want to buy low and this is the pattern. Okay, now next, if you are looking to know when this downward movement would turn to go up, we are interested to know that when it will turn to move up, then there must be certain clues. Okay, clues such as, I'm just going to skip this and not explain the reason why, that price needs to make a high. Okay, now this high is higher than the previous. It must be compared to the previous. You don't jump, okay? You always compare to the previous, and the previous high will be here, right? So this high will be higher than the previous high, okay? Now, and when it comes down, sometimes it doesn't come down, okay? But if ever it comes down, right, it will come down to the point that is between this low, the lowest low, and the high point in between the low and the high, and it should not move all the way to the low. Okay, should not move all the way to this lower low here. Okay, so when I introduce this pattern here, I introduce this part as a rest. Okay, so this is the resting part because price is consolidating. So sometimes the resting can be flattish. Okay, this is called a flattish rest. Okay, but sometimes the resting can be a little bit steeper downwards. It's fine. Okay, end of the day, what's important is that it must move up. Okay, so it must create a high here. So this is the rest point. This is the high point. And then what happened? It will have to come down and you have to rest again. Okay, now this rest movement should be between the low and the high and should be just around okay, 30 to 40%, all right, of that dropped. It should not be too much. If it's too much, what does it mean? It means that bulls, people who are buying, doesn't have a lot of strength. Okay, so it shouldn't come down too much, right? And after that, what happened? Here, you will be looking for a chance to buy, and this place would be where you're going to take and eat. Okay, eat your dinner, eat your lunch or whatever, right? And then you're going to just buy when it's just going to turn up slightly. Okay? All right, so this is the whole setup here. Okay, so it will be a point of resting where price make a high that's higher than the previous high, and then it rested again, and then after that, right, it should flip upwards, and that's where you want to enter your position. Okay, so this was basically what I've covered during the earlier session on Saturday. Any question here? Just a revision. All right, no question. I'm just going to clean this away, huh? Thanks a lot for all the hearts. I love the hearts. Okay. Thank you. Good. All right, now I'm just going to clean this away. But if you do have any questions, I would just answer your question. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to give you an example. right? And we can do live because I do live with my my students, okay? But sometimes, right, for illustration's sake, right, I can't do live because I want to let you see, okay? So there are few things, right, that must come in place, okay? Meaning that you cannot just take this rest and then high and then rest and then eat, right, type of pattern, and then you just use it, okay? So there are few conditions that I've said before, all right, and I will be revising this, and I'll be talking about even more conditions here today, and I will teach you how to look for this type of stocks, okay? Because I know that this is one question that you asked me, how to find, okay? So I'm just going to give you one way to find them, all right? So first thing is that this is the pattern here. So this is the pattern because price is actually on its high, low, lower high, and a lower low type of a movement here. So this is your resting period. Okay, so this is your rest, right? And I said that in the earlier session, the resting period would be around 2. It must be months, okay? 2 to 6 months. But you've seen that it can be more, okay? So basically, it cannot be too short a period. If it's too short a period, it is not good for a rest, okay? All right, so this is very, very important. It must be month. Okay, that means that either it must be a month or 2 months. Best, it can be 2 to 6 months. It can't take too long, but then it can be sometimes stretching to 8 months or 10 months, depending on the situation. Okay, so what I've illustrated here with this one is a NASDAQ CFD, which is something that we trade. Okay, that means that we do trade not into the stocks, but we do trade into the CFDs, which is like index. Okay, so this is the time period here. And the second thing that it must happen is that the previous trend must be an up. Okay, so it must be an up, which is something that I talk about. Okay, now let me just ask you one question here. At this point here, right? Has price make a higher point than the previous high? Yes or no? Because I want to check that you understand this concept, right? So I want to know that, do you see that at this point here, has price make a higher high than the previous high? Yes or no? Let me know via the chat. No, right? Okay, very good. Okay. How about this point here? Number 2. So 1 hasn't, but how about 2? 2, has it made a higher high? Higher point, right, than the previous high? Yes or no? Okay. Now, in fact, right, what happened at 2 was that it made a higher high than all the high points. Okay. So this is very good because this one means that price had rested, and so we have the R here, and had made a high point H, right? So what do you need to do then? You need to wait for it to rest again, right? Okay, you need for it to come down, right? So your role is to wait for it to come down, okay? So that's what it needs to do. And then the coming down, that means that when it comes back down, right? When it comes back down, it should be between the low and the high point, okay? It cannot get too low here. When it gets too low here, it is not good. Okay, so this one you understand, right? Now, let me just look at the outcome, right? You see that it just moved down a little bit, right? Okay, move down a little bit, right? Now, do you see that the low point here, this low point here, right, somehow coincide with the previous high? Okay, all right. So there is a reason behind. What is the reason behind? Because it means that around here, right, prices had already broken out of the all-time high, ATH, all-time high, right? So it doesn't make sense for price to move down too much to unbreak what has been broken. Because if you see the logic here, right, if price moved to the all-time high and it doesn't stop at the all-time high and it moves down below the all-time high, right, then it just says one thing, right? The bulls, the buyers, they are very weak. They regretted buying at the high. Okay, so that is the implication here. Okay, so one thing that you need to remember, all right, if you are looking for stocks, it is okay to look for prices that break all-time high. Okay, because it has a fundamental change, right? Meaning that there could be a fundamental change, or there is a fundamental change, right, to the stock. Okay, and therefore buyers are willing to buy higher, okay, above the all-time high. Okay, it could be that because they have a new product, that their profitability is improved, or whatever reason, all right, then buyers are willing to buy above the all-time high, which is the all-time high here, right? And what you have to do is to let it break up. I know that sometimes you ask me, hey Bini, if it breaks up, right, what if it never come back down? There are so many stocks out there. You just have to focus on those that allows you a chance to come back down to the high. Okay, so this is one more tips I want to share with you. All right, if you want to look for stocks, right, which are fundamentally strong. And how do you know that they are fundamentally strong? They are breaking its all-time high. Okay, so that's one of the very, very important clue of stocks. Okay, and this is one of the things that I look for in stocks, breaking its all-time high. Okay, but of course, if you want to use the method that I've talked about, which is the resting thing, the previous trend must be up. Okay, must be going up, and this is very, very important. All right, now same thing, right, in terms of time, just to summarize, right, this resting period here must be at least month. Okay, so it must be 2 to 6 and can be beyond 6, and that is a summary for you. And how do I know that they are months? Okay, there are 2 months here, right? So what I did is I put in these boxes here. Okay, so these are like a bit of like a shade, not shaded, but outline boxes. Okay, so one box is equal to 1 month, so this is the second box. So this one is easily, I know that this is a 2 months consolidation pattern, which is a 2-month resting pattern here. So with the boxes, it's easy to find. Now third, right, you can add in the moving averages, which is something that I promised to show it to you where to get it. All right, so this is the moving average that you can add it in. And once you add it in, right, you realize that the prior trend must be up. And how do you know the prior trend is up? The moving averages, they are showing green. Okay, they are showing green, right? And very important, in case you missed it, okay, which is something that I mentioned before, in case you missed it, right, in the earlier session, that this, after the resting period, when price breaks higher and it comes back down, that downward movement, usually the moving averages here would be green as well. Okay, all right, so here is green. The resting period can be red. Okay, but when it break higher and come back down, so this moving averages here must be green again. Okay, all right, so I mean, let me know if any of you are confused and you don't understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm like summarizing for you what you need to look out for. If you need to review the videos, you can just watch the video with the same link. Okay, if you need the material, I will send it to you this week. Okay, all right, I will send it to you this week so you can get a copy of the material. All right, now so let's talk about how to set the moving averages and how to set the boxes up in Tradingview. Now you do need the Tradingview. That means you need an account. Okay, you need an account, right? I will talk about how many EMAs, because I will set this up for you here. Okay, so you need to have an account. But if you do not, if you want to get like free, fully paid for Tradingview, right? That means that your Tradingview is fully paid for you, right? Not free, but you know, the subscribe Tradingview, right? Do stay until the end of the session. I will teach you how to get it. Okay, how to get it for free. All right. Okay, so let's get into Tradingview here. So this is my Tradingview here. Okay, so the first thing that I want to set up is this moving average. Let me just clean away things that I don't want. Okay, so this is the moving averages that I want to set up. All right, so there are a lot of other moving averages that you can do, right? So, but I just somehow think that this is a little bit nicer for me. Okay, so the setting is EMA 21 and 55. Okay, let me just write that down for you. So it's 21. I'm using an EMA. It doesn't really matter whether you're using a SMA, which is simple moving averages, versus EMA. It doesn't really matter, but I just prefer to use EMA. But the key thing is this 55 here. So this is 55, which is very important. Now, this 55 is where people are using 50 moving average. Okay, 50. Okay, so if you are in a day chart, it will be 50-day moving average. If you are in a weekly chart, it will be 50 weeks moving average. But I prefer 55 because sometimes, right, price will exceed a little bit. Okay, so I want the moving averages to have a little bit of a larger range to make it lagging a little bit, because the method that I'm using is very leading. Okay, so I want something to come together to make it lagging a little bit. Okay, so it's not that 55 is good. Okay, it's not that 50 is not good. It depends on what you are pairing with. Okay, so when you have a method which is leading, all right, then you want to pair something which is lagging. Okay, so that it gives you a comprehensive way of analysis. Okay, all right. So just to let you know, this is 55 here. Why is not 50? 55 gives me a little bit of buffer and it fits into what I want. But generally, this set of moving averages, in stocks, right, gives you a very good trending view. Okay, that means that because if you translate this will be equal to 10 weeks moving average. Okay, it gives you very good view that stock is trending. Okay, and this is what we are interested in. We are interested in trending stocks, because trending stock means that the momentum is strong, means that people are willing to look at it. Okay, we don't want to get into a flattish type of a movement, because this is called a flattish movement. Okay, so this is called trending movement. Basically, we don't want this. Okay, these are places we don't want. So this is your resting period. We want to enter after you have finished rested. It has completed its resting stage, right? So we want to enter somewhere around here. Okay, so that's our aim here, right? So that's why I use this moving average. Okay, so go to your indicators. All right, you can key in moving average. Okay, so once you key moving average, you should see this moving average shaded field area crossover. Okay, I repeat, moving average shaded field area crossover EMA. I guess that you might just want to take a photos, or you might just use the time to read it, write it down. Yes, it works in crypto. Yes, it does. Okay. In fact, that if you have time, we can take a look at BTC, and you realize that BTC is probably heading down. Okay, and there's a reason why BTC is heading down. Okay, so I'm using this one here, moving average shaded field area crossover, but you can use any moving averages that has this same look here, which is like you have the field, all right, and you have you can change the setting of the moving average. I won't be going through how you change the setting, but because by default it's already 21.55. Okay, all right, so that's the first moving averages I'm using. Okay, now the second thing that I'm using, all right, is this multi-time period chart that shows the boxes. Okay, so this is how the boxes behave, right? Okay, so how to do that? Same thing, go to your indicator. All right, go to type in multi. Okay, so once you type multi, right, it should appear multi-time period charts here. Okay, so this is multi-time period charts here, and that's how you get the boxes. So I'm just going to configure that. Uncheck auto time frame. Make sure the time frame is 1 month and the calculation is high and low. All right, and the colors you can just construct yourself. It doesn't matter. Okay, whatever colors suits you, whatever colors that makes you happy, just construct that yourself. Okay, now I won't be repeating this because you can re-watch this particular section of how to set up the indicator. Okay, so since that there are questions, can this use for gold and 1 hour time frame? Yes. Just these two might not, but the method I'm going to teach you, yes, can. Okay, I'm the method I'm selling to you because I like to be very frank. Yes, the method I'm selling to you, yes, can be done, but this one here, it's generally good for all time frame. Okay, but for the boxes, right, for the stocks, we do set it as 1 month. If you want to show the period for a day, you can just shift to a day also can. If you can just shift to a week, then it will show you like what happened in 1 week, what happened in 1 day, or what happened in 4 hours. But you have to know how to use them. Okay. So for the stocks, we are generally looking at a month. So we put in a month. Okay. For the let's say gold. Later, I think I might be talking about gold also. I forgot already. I think I'm talking about Nikkei 225. Then you can set it as a day. Okay. All right. So that's basically done here. Any question here before I move on? Okay. Don't have, huh? Okay. Very good. All right. Okay. So we've done that already. Okay. Now, the fourth thing, okay? The fourth thing that I like to expose you, okay, is the way that the indicator that I've constructed, that I've created, the method that I've created, right, of how they look at trend. So this is one of the missing link that I didn't cover on Saturday, all right? And basically, this is what you're going to learn if you pay for the cost. So I'll be very, very upfront, okay? So let me just take you through one by one. The indicator is called tag. It's called the alien D. D, A, B, C, D. D. Okay, it just happened to be D, right? Okay. What it does is that there are two sets of interactions. Okay, what are the two sets of interactions here in terms of trend? First, this is an uptrend. Okay, so what the indicator will do is it will tell you that if this point here is still an uptrend, where would be the best point to buy? Okay, so it came up with 2 points here. One would be this here, okay, D, and then the other one would be this one here, which is the blue color, because the blue color overlap with the orange. Okay, that's why you can't see very well, right? So if this is an uptrend, if this one, this point here, right, is still an uptrend, which is of course, because if you compare this to this, right, so this is a higher low as versus this one here, right? Okay, this is a higher low as versus the low point. Okay, so all of these are all doing higher low, right? So these are the two price level that we are looking to buy. Okay, so it's predicted this. Okay, so that's the first set of clues of how tag, which is the indicator that I've created, look at trend. Now, second is that it takes a look at the resting period here. So this is your resting period, right? Okay, so this is the rest, right? So what it does is that it is looking at this downward movement, and it's telling you that, okay, as long as it is above this orange line here, okay, that means that the downward trend, okay, has already flipped upwards. Okay, that means the downward trend, right, which is the resting period, has already gone up. Okay, has already ended and is right now heading up. Okay, so first we have from tag, right, a buy area here, buy. Okay, next we have from tag, right, a price to tell us this one, basically to say that this downward movement has ended if price can close above it. And this is how we interact the two trends. Okay, and that's the reason why if you want to apply the resting type of a method, the previous trend must be up in order for this calculation to be in place. Okay, all right, yes, you can definitely use a candlestick chart, no problem. Are we comparing to the previous low? I'm not sure what this previous low. Yes, this one previous low here, and then this one, right? But I think that you're asking whether this or this, so generally the general trend, I mean, if you compare to the previous low, is down. Okay, that's why I say this is downward movement. But the biggest trend, the big one, because tech is able to see many trends, okay, where automatically whether it's week, month, etc. Okay, so it's analyze them, and therefore the biggest trend is still up here as measured. Okay, so I know that this is a little bit confusing. Okay, so let's take a look at Tesla here. I covered Tesla, and I've covered Tesla, and I shared Tesla with my students. All right, I mean, my students will know my style is that I do not cover things because I want to cover things. Okay, there's always a reason why I cover some things. Okay, because they know that I don't like to waste things. All right, so if I have allocated 30 minutes, I want to talk about something, then that 30 minutes jolly well must be fully well used up. Okay, that means that there must be a purpose to that, right? So if you look at Tesla, what Tesla did, right, was that it has this downward movement. It has the resting period. But what tech will do is that tech will analyze into the price movement. Okay, so it's not a black box where you do not understand what is analyzing. Okay, everything will be taught to you, right? Okay, so today I'm actually showing you. So tech will analyze into relevant price action. Okay, you will go in the calculation, blah, 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 and it came up with these three values here. So all these are what we call the resistance. Okay, basically the price that obstruct Tesla from moving up. Okay, so but 158, because of earnings and because of Tesla news, this bar here, so these few bars here, right, moved above the whole zone, okay, and created this high movement. Okay, so it's actually created a high that's higher than the previous high. Okay, so this was the high, and then this was the higher high. All right, so this one was a low, so this was the high that Tesla created. So do you agree that this is a rest period? So this is a high that is being created? Yes or no? Can you see it? Well, look at your question. Whether I mean to buy the blue line, wait for the yellow line to appear? No. I won't touch about where to buy, etc. When will the 2 entries be appearing so that we have enough time to react? I won't be covering entry here, okay? But I'll just generally let you know what we are looking at, okay? All right, but basically, if you are looking at Tesla, all right, the entry would be just to buy at this buying zone, because this whole zone here will be a buying zone here, okay? All right, no, only 2% answer me. The rest can't see. Do you see that this is a resting period? And then this is a higher high versus the previous high. And hence, when price move back down, let me just erase this. And hence, when price move back down, so this is your rest again. Okay? And then this one is your okay, where you can eat. Yeah. Okay? All right. Precisely how to eat, unfortunately, has to be in the course. Okay? All right. So this is Tesla, and I covered Tesla when it was here. I think I covered a couple of times of Tesla already in my lesson. And I don't think that a lot of people, I think that quite some of them got in Tesla, but I do not think that a lot of people entered Tesla because they probably not too sure. Or maybe that they just want to wait and see. Okay? So Tesla moved up, but you can see that it kept repeating the same thing. All right? Okay. So when will D1, D2, D3 appear? I would show it to you later on. Okay? They will appear very, very early. They won't be late. All right? Is it when the resting is ended? No. No, not when the resting has ended. We do live later on. Okay? Live. All right? Okay. Now, so this is Nikkei 225. Okay, so this one, it's able to apply in a 1 hour. That means with the same pattern, we are able to apply that in a 1 hour. So it doesn't matter whether it's a 1 hour or whether it's a 4 hour, whether you're trading into indexes, whether you're trading the cryptos, FX, stocks, or whatever. Okay, so it's generally can apply. So we have this resting period here. So this was the resting period. The only thing that's different is that it doesn't have that time of 2 to 6 months, okay? Because 2 to 6 months was applicable to the stocks, right? But this one, we are talking about trading, okay? So then this would be the resting period. So we do have these two levels here coming up. So when price moves up, okay, all right, that would be, when price move up here, so this would be the higher high that's versus the previous high, and we just have to wait for the period to go down to eat. Okay, so of course that there will be price prediction here because it had moved already, so it had price prediction here, right, for us to find entry. But just to let you know, okay, along the way we will keep predicting when to buy as it keep on going higher and higher. So this is the nice thing about the system. If you missed it already, don't worry, any of this resting period will be predicted. I will show it to you. Okay, So how long is the resting period? It's hard to say. All right, but you shouldn't be looking at too long a time. Okay, so for example, if it's a day, the resting period if it's a 1 hour, okay, the resting period, right, for this one, I presume you're talking about this one here, because I don't know which one you're talking, okay, would be around less than a day or maybe 2 days, around that. Okay, now this resting period here would have to be few days for the first resting period. Okay, all right. What is the multi-time frame box for 1 hour chart? Multi-time box for 1 hour chart would be a day chart. That's under my cost, okay? That will cover under my cost, right? How about a 5-minute chart? Yes, you can use it, but when you are doing a 5-minute chart, right, my advice to you is still to use the 5 minutes as a fine tune, okay? Do not just rely on 5 minutes only. So here, if this is this is the resting period, right? You can zoom this into a 5 minute. You will see the same pattern here, like these are in a 5-minute chart. The same orange line, the same thing, the same orange box, everything the same, and you just have to use the 5 minute to enter here. But it's good to pair it with a higher time frame price level. So this is my advice to you. Okay, all right. Now this is Nikkei 225. This was that resting period that I showed you. Okay, so this is a resting period, right? And as I said, right, the indicator will keep calculating when to eat. So these are the calculated levels on when to eat. So it calculated here. So as it goes up, this blue line here, right, will keep on calculating. That it goes up, the blue line here will keep on calculating. Later I'll show you live, okay? All right, so this is how it goes. Okay, Ken? Huh? So will there be a screener for this pattern? Well, the answer is no. Okay, the answer is no, because it should be used on things that you commonly traded. Okay, all right. So I'm just something dropping already. So it should be used on things that you commonly traded. Huh? If the level never hit and you turn up, do you chase? No, you don't chase, because there will be more prediction. Because this level here, this one, right, which is what we call a re-entry. Sorry, the re-entry, right, is to add on to your previous earlier entry. So earlier entry will be here already. You have already positioned. If you hasn't gotten out, this would gives you that re-entry thing. Okay, all right. So you don't chase, because it will go up and then there will be new levels of prediction. What is the difference between the yellow and the blue line? Yellow and the blue line. I have to cover that in a course. All right. Basically, the yellow will be lines that coming from here. Okay. The blue line would be a new prediction. All right. Okay. Now, any other question? Because I want to, cover a lot more stuff so that you can learn. Okay. So no questions. I'll move on. Right. Bonus one for attending this session. Bonus one. If you want to find stocks that display this type of a setting, okay, you must go for stocks that is hot trending. Okay, I repeat, right? That's hot trending. I won't be talking about how to take profit, right? As I say, I cannot cover everything here. You have to go back to the cost, okay? Hot trending stocks. Well, what are the hot trending stocks? So, for example, Nvidia is hot. Tesla is hot right now. Apple is hot. Almost all the M7 stocks are hot. So it applies very much, right, to hot trending stocks. Okay? Because hot trending stock, right, means that there's momentum, there's energy. Okay? Hot trending stocks also means that the moving averages are heading up. Okay? Hot trending stocks also means that a lot of funds are involved, because the method comes from actually a lot of automation project that I did for a lot of huge players. Okay, huge players I cannot review, but it's definitely something you've not seen before. Okay, so these are the years of experience and knowledge I've gathered from all my work. Okay, so what happened on the 25th of June, if you look at here, was where I first talk about Nvidia to my students. Okay, when I talk about Nvidia came back down here. Okay, so that's wonderfully went in the buy area. But 21st of June, we already predicted into Nvidia. that this was the level that we are interested to enter. Okay, so this is the blue line here, and it hit inside the moving average, and this is a trending stocks. Okay, so Nvidia had already rested enough, it goes up and it come back down. So this is actually the buy point. So you see this 118.97 on 25th of June, right? So on the 20 don't know what of July or maybe June, just a few days afterward, it went move up a little bit and came back down to hit nicely into this predicted area. Okay, so the predicted area had already been predicted. Okay, the predicted area had already been predicted, right? When price was around here, we already know that predicted area. Okay, all right. So here was when I told my students that this was it. All right, so this is the price, and then that was about 118.97. Treat that as 120, and Nvidia was trading at about 131 as the time that I captured this information here. Okay, so one question is that those penny stocks, right? No, try not to do that, because as I mentioned, the method has to do with a lot of my experience when I'm doing a lot of all this programming system design project with the big guys. Okay, big guys don't do penny stocks. Just remember this. Okay, they do the usual stocks. Okay, so try not to apply to the penny stocks. We apply that to really fundamentally strong stocks. Okay, all right. So this is where the prediction comes in. Okay, it must be where it is a hot trending stocks. Okay, now next, then it must be fundamentally strong stocks. Okay, then how do you get that fundamentally strong stocks? How do you know that they are trending stock, like top 10? Yeah, top 10, or you look at the moving averages, they're opening up. Okay, they are widely talked about. The option volume is high. The trading volume is also high. Something like that. Okay. Okay, second bonus, since you're here, they must be fundamentally strong. How do you know that they are fundamentally strong? I mean that we don't have a lot of time already, right? How to analyze every fundamental. Okay, tough, right? So today, I'm just going to introduce to you one free resource. Okay, it is not comprehensive, because you don't expect, right, that free resources to give you something comprehensive. It's always, the game is always the same, right? The deal is always the same. You want something comprehensive, you have to pay for it. But this is one free resource that you can extract some information, hopefully, all right, for you. Okay, so this particular article came from investors.com, okay, which is under IBD. Okay, Investors Business Daily, investors.com. I didn't want to put this down because I don't want to endorse them. I just want to talk about it only. All right, so I'm not introducing them. I'm not saying that they are good, but what they do is that they came out with like a fundamental screening criteria, all right, to talk about stocks which are so-called trending, which they think that they are the leaderboard, they are like in the top 50 or whatever stuff. Okay, so they're not necessarily big cap, right? But this was an article that I've read and extracted on yesterday. Okay, so because it's written on the 9th, today is 10, right? So they wrote that yesterday. Okay, so what they say is, Tesla continued to move, Nvidia have moved up, blah, 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 blah. But what really hit here is this line here. Meanwhile, Brazilian jet maker Embraer, ERJ, flashed a buy signal. Oh, what's the buy signal? And the diamond-backed energy FANG is setting up. Okay, not FANG as in Facebook, Amazon, okay? But basically this is the code, right? So these are under the IBD leaderboard. Okay, that means that they are probably leader in their industry. Okay, so these are clues for you to search for some stocks according to that setup that I've introduced. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to go inside Tradingview, and this is where the indicator gives you the convenience. Okay, because that if you don't have all this, where do you get that convenience to go and see it quickly? All right, so this is ERJ, which is something that I've talked about. So let's see. Okay, that's revised whether you can find the period where they have the rest, okay, and then you have the high point being created, you have the rest point again, and then it goes up. All right, okay, so can you guys tell me, based on what I've shown here, where is the rest period? From when to when? Rest period of this stock. Let's stretch a bit while I wait for your answer. Okay, I have March and November rest period. That's very good. And how long was that? Can you just quickly let me know? How many months was that? And how do you know it? How, right? Okay, so you have this rest period here, around here, right? It's almost like a flattish movement. Flattish. Okay? Flattish, right? The website is investors.com. investors.com. Okay? Yeah. Around that, because this period you can count the number of boxes, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus minus around there. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and you realize that price had this high point and a lower high here, and a low point here, high, lower high, and a lower low, right? Okay, and somewhere around here, right, it made a higher high. Agree? Okay, and the higher high actually broke all-time high. I won't say all-time high, okay? I mean the high of this current period, because previously the stock was actually trending down, okay? So it broke that high point, okay, high point, right? You realize that when it rested back into the same point, and it rested into the moving averages that I talk about. It must be green color. So this was green color. The resting period was red color, all right? And when it moves up, okay, the resting period again for us to buy was green color. Okay, now what I like to do is I like to just remove this a little bit. Okay, and I just want to roll back, okay, using tag, the one I've created, roll back and show you what happened at that point of time. Because in Tradingview, there is this function where I can replay and show exactly what happened at that point of time. Okay, so I'm just going to roll back to show you what tag was plotting at that moment. Okay, so same thing, right? So this was that uptrending. Okay, so this is uptrend. All right, so we know that this period was that resting period. So what tag was drawing, just let me play that for you, right? So what tag was drawing is that it drew this whole resistance level here, the cluster. It calculated and said that, hey, look, price must close above 14.5. So that is the level that it must close, okay? That means that it must go above it in order for this resting period to end. Okay, so this is our calculation, right? So let me just play that for you. Okay, so around here, you see that it had already broken above. Okay, that means that it had already broken the 1450, right? Okay, so that's pretty much confirmed. All right, that the prices have been broken. That you see the blue line coming in already? So what this blue line will do is that you will calculate, right? So this is the first buying area here. So this is the second buying area here. Okay, two blue lines coming out, right? And you see that the moving averages is flipping to become green? Yes, huh? So everything is what we are saying here, right? So let's continue. So price moves up. You see that the blue line trail along it, okay? But pretty much the yellow line, right, didn't move, okay? Because it's fixed here. What is this yellow line here? It's telling us that this is the point that the resting period has ended, okay? The resting period has ended, right? Now, the new calculation is going in and saying that if price is to come down to 17.02, or price is to come down to here, so these are the two buy points. All right, so why are two buy points being calculated? It has to do with options, and also to do with staggering of positions. All right, okay. But basically, these are the 2 buy points here. Okay, now you see price will continue to trail because then as it goes slightly higher, because we're trailing the buy point, and this will be the first point that it hit. Okay, 1820. So it's continuing to hover inside here. All right, because it's entered into the buy region already. Okay, and then after a while, it moved up and it continued to, come up with that buy point, and then there's another one more buy point here. All right, continue and hit nicely, and it moved up. Okay, so this is how it goes. Okay, and that's it. This is the current price right now. All right, so this is the method. Okay, so I can't promise you that you can enter at each point because it depends on whether you enter or not. All right, but I can only let you know that the indicator provide a lot of convenience. One is the first convenience. It let you know that the resting period has ended. You are into that buying mode. Okay, second, it allows you to know where would be the buy point here. Okay, that means that which are the buy point, etc. Right? Sometimes it will miss for sure. Sometimes it will exceed a little bit. If I can have something, a calculation that's 100% accurate, wow, I'm really going to join the alien. All right, it gives you a reference point. Okay, any question here? So if you are taking a look into live or Tesla right now, so this is Tesla. Okay, so same thing. What is Tesla doing here is that it's already broken out of this 2 buy point. Okay, buy, right? So it's up. Okay, and it's calculating that this is the nearest buy point here at 234.15. That means that if Tesla should come down, because Tesla has earning, right? Okay, here. So if Tesla should come down, we should be noting this buy point here. Okay, all right. So of course that if it fail, then new buy point will be calculated, or if not, right, if it fail, right, then of course we have to hit our stop loss, okay? Because there's no such things as 100% guarantee that you will be able to catch it. As I said, the first buy point was here. So this would be the re-entry for us. Okay, all right? Any question before I moved on? Don't have, huh? Okay. So you can go into this website here, which is IBD, which is investor.com, to go and browse through the articles that they have. They talk a lot, and recently they've been quite hot with stocks, which is called P something one. which tomorrow I'm going to talk about it to my students, okay? Okay, so I've demonstrated live already. Okay, so bonus number 3. All right, so when can you use this with? That means that what can you use this? Because I know that, right, a lot of you guys are asking me, how do you scan this? But actually, you don't need to scan, because a lot of time that we are also using this, right, to trade into the M7. That means the very liquid pairs and other moving pairs. So what is the method good for? Okay, generally it's good for all FX pairs. It's good for those which are widely participated by fund managers. Okay, so for example, M7, the hot stocks are, some of the crypto stocks are, some of the AI stocks are, and semi-con stocks are. All these are all a bit of a hot stocks, right? Where you start to see that they are trending, they are moving very well. Okay, so I give you an example here, right? Okay, so bonus to you again. A lot of bonus today. A. Next one, can you guess? Hot stocks. Try. What is the next letter I'm gonna type? Hot stocks. R. Any more? One more. Not Alibaba. Alibaba is not hot. M, yes, you got it right. Good job. Okay. Yeah. So this ARM is a semicon stocks, and it has been not listed. It has been included in Nasdaq 100. Okay, all right. Now what happened was that it had this. Okay, first we talk about criteria first. Do you agree that it's a trending stocks with green color before the resting period? Yes or no? Yes, huh? Okay, yes, huh? Let me just put in the number of months. Here we go. Okay, so what happened was that in the resting period, do you see this as a resting period? Okay, the resting was a little bit, how to say, not flat. It just boom, okay, because I think the selling was a little bit aggressive. Okay, so this is the resting period, right? Before that is an uptrend. So this is uptrend. So this is resting period, which is hour. Okay, and after that, what happened? So there's this line here, all right, and then it basically moved up. That means that around here, where you see the moving averages flip, right, around here, right, it actually, concluded the end of this downward movement. It starts to enter the up here, okay, up, right, pump. It went on a higher high, but basically it broke the all-time high. So it broke the all-time high, right? And that is coming down back into that all-time high where this was the buy zone, and it just moved up. Okay, so what happened is that you are basically looking for a re-entry. Okay, you are looking for a re-entry because this is your trending stocks. Okay, now you can choose to do it yourself, but you can rely on certain calculations. That means that you're back home already, right? You're so tired already, right? You come back and you turn on or on the bus or where you're on MRT. You want to know where is the price that is being calculated. Okay, you can use your handphone and you can just enter in, and then you say, oh yeah, so it's being calculated here. So these are the predicted price. Okay, so that brings convenience to you, and this is what I'm aiming for, because I am not very young already. I like to enjoy life, okay, but I like investing. I like to be right, okay. That means I want to be correct, all right, and I feel proud to get it right. I feel proud to get it right for my students, and I feel good to get it right for myself, okay. I don't like to be wrong, okay, but there must be at the expense of something. When I was young, I spent a lot of time. Thanks a lot, Jeffrey. Now I'm a bit older already, right? So when people tell me I look young, I feel very happy. So this is the good thing about getting a bit more mature. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So I was talking about, I spent a lot of time last time when I was younger to look at the prices, etc. And sometimes I do stay until like 2-3 a.m. Now I can't do it anymore. It sucks the next day. Okay, I don't want, and then so I build all these automations so they help myself. Okay, but I know that I can't get back to the previous life anymore, right? So these are the automations, and I was telling my students today, right? I say, look, you are growing old with me. Okay, why is that so? Because some students have been with me for 10 years, 10 plus years, right? You are growing old with me. If I'm growing older by one day, you are growing older by one day as well, right? It's the same. So we should be enjoying a little bit more of our lives and spending less time on the screen. So we should be having all these automations to help us, right? So this is my desire to do that. Okay, so it does provide a lot of convenience for you. All right, so as price continue to move up, it will come out with new automations. But basically, I'm telling you that please take a look at ARM. Please monitor that, because then it's one of the stocks, right, that I am looking at, and it fit the criteria. Okay, maybe that you might not be able to buy here already, but in case that it does come back down, then you can use this to rely the indicator, right, to look at the price point. Okay, so that's it. All right. Okay, so this one is a slide which I did, right? And this was a recent trade. Thanks a lot, Young and Great, right? I want to just take a screen cap of this one here. I want to take a screen cap of this so that I can look at it, right? And then I can be happy. Okay, never mind. So this is a Dow Jones CFDs that was traded. All right, so basically it's a 4-hour trade here. So what happened is that you see this measure uptrend, right? Okay, so they're measuring uptrend, right? And all these are all the calculated levels, and you see that price broke these calculated levels, which are all these calculated levels, and it hit nicely into this, and boom, off it goes. Okay, then what happened is that right now it's actually going downtrend. It's going down, right? So price did calculation, and you can find a cluster of whatever mess up here, cluster, right? But let me just ask you one question. At this point here, has price closed above all that cluster thing? Okay, has it closed above all the cluster of lines and to show that it make a higher high? Yes or no? Yes, right? Okay, so once we have this, don't worry. Okay, don't worry that you miss the buy point, whatever, because the tech indicator will calculate for you the blue lines. Okay, the blue lines here, these are the blue lines, calculated for you. Okay, so all these are all the calculated zone. Basically, what you want it to do, you want it to land inside this area here. So that's your aim. You want it to land inside this area, and that's your buy point. Huh? All right, but before you want it to land inside this area, you have to make sure that it is at doing a high, okay, a higher high. Okay, so that's it. The next one, it made a higher high. It landed right into this calculated buy point here. You see the blue line here, the blue line here, right? Calculated nicely. In fact, that it landed twice, once and second, and after it moved back up. Okay, so we are able to use this on any instrument as long as, number one, it is moving. It cannot be small cap. It must be something that's tradable by the funds, okay, by majority of the people. Like, for example, Nikkei or, NASDAQ or index or gold or oil or Forex or trending stocks or stocks that, people are talking about. It cannot be... It's not good, right, to use it on pennies, okay? Because the calculation are based on a lot of the experience that I've gathered while I'm doing programming, okay? So Singapore stocks, yes, but, the usual candidate like DBS, OCBC, UOB, and maybe like Venture, maybe Kappa, maybe Yangzijiang, all this stuff, okay? Okay. Now, last question. A lot of you guys are going to ask me, all right, how accurate is this? How profitable is this? Etc. Okay, so I've used this and I designed this when I was young. Young means maybe like 30 years old. So I've been actually using that for about, I don't want to tell you how many years. Okay, and it's only recently where I came to the age now that I decided that I need to leave a legacy. Okay, that means that something for it to be passed, because somebody told me that, hey, look, you cannot bring this to grave, because if you bring this to grave, what will happen to the next generation? All right, so you cannot bring this to grave, right? Because I thought that if I show it, then people will copy from me. But then then the person told me that, but you're looking at a very narrow scope. You're thinking about people copying you, but how about you sharing so that more people will benefit? So unfortunately, the reality is that if you take a look at Tesla, when I talk about Tesla, how many of you guys, my student, you actually bought into Tesla, or you are interested into Tesla, or you are tempted to buy into Tesla, and you actually bought into Tesla? Okay, how many of you, tell me, or how many of you didn't? I asked this, and actually I think that a lot of them didn't buy into Tesla, which I don't think it's wrong, because they might not like Tesla, but it really moved up. So in terms of reality, in terms of profitability, in terms of accuracy, I think it's hard to give it to you. Okay, but I've used that, and then so far it has been very good. Okay, so I like to work on this here, meaning that I like to say that if you are looking at the system, all right, then you will be looking at one, which is my course that gives you that extensive coaching. Okay, that means this is the extensive coaching that I'm giving you. And number two, as that what I'm offering you is that if you take the course, it comes with the indicator, all right, and it has a course fee that is fully refunded. And that would mitigate your risk, meaning that I'm sincere to teach you. That means you have the coaching. And number two, you have the course fee that's fully refunded. And that's basically mitigate your risk, right? Meaning that you don't really pay anything to get the whole knowledge and to get the tool. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about the latest offering that I have for you, which is the new course called Tor Pro. Okay, so I'm going to spend about 15 minutes to talk about it. So please don't go away, because if you are going away, then it's a waste, because then you have the 100% cashback. Okay, so that's good. Calvin, you bought in. It's sold or not? Haven't sold, right? I also not yet. Yeah, I'm waiting. Okay, so the cost comes with a 100% cashback and a loss cover, as well as reimbursement of the Tradingview essential plan. Okay, and this is how you get the Tradingview free of charge. Okay, so here it goes here, right? Tor Pro, 1,500 SGD is the price of this course. Okay, so let me just go through one by one. There are two things that's being offered here. One that's being offered by us, okay, as this course, which include number one, the strategy. That means we're going to teach you how to use it. The use of tag, which is the one that I demonstrated in Tradingview, which is 12 months, okay. But currently we are having an offer. If you pay via cash, that means that bank transfer or pay now, you don't use credit card, you don't use PayPal, then we are going to give you 2 years instead. Okay, so the package comes with 1 year, but because of the special offer, because this is a new launch, we're going to give it 2 years, right? And this offer expires on 31st of July. So basically you have to pay the cost via bank transfer or pay now, all right, and do it before 31st of July, right? Next, we're going to give you 12 months the Alien Room, which is our support plus the indicators and robots that you can use to trade in MetaTrader 4, and also some other indicators in Tradingview. All right, and the complimentary 12 months hand-holding. Hand-holding means that we will guide you on what to trade, almost like 4 sessions a week. Okay, so that is the offer that is being provided in the package. Now, the cashback deal. The cashback deal is offered by this broker called 8cap. I actually went to them this May and visited them. They're huge and they are very, very established broker in Australia. Okay, so what they are giving you is that if you take the Tor Pro, if you buy the Tor Pro, right, they are giving you $1,500 SGD cashback. So it's a cash that they put inside your trading account. They have this $500 loss cover. What is this loss cover means, right? It means that when you trade, and you make a loss of $500, right, then the loss is covered. So your first $500 loss, right, is actually paid back to you. Okay, so only up to 500, right? Not 1,000, not 5,000, only $500. And lastly, if you have a Tradingview plan, okay, whether it's a higher plan or lower plan, they will be reimbursing this amount, which is equivalent to a Tradingview essential plan, right, to your trading account. Okay, so in other words, right, they are giving you Tradingview. Okay, so are you able to use tag if you don't subscribe to Tradingview? Yes, you are able to use tag because Tradingview has a free version. Okay, but the free version can only house 2 indicators. So there are restrictions. Okay, just remember, you get tag as long as you take the cost. You pay for the cost, right? But since this broker is paying you $1,500 cashback to you, giving you the loss cover and paying for your Tradingview subscription, why not? Okay. Now, so the total worth of this package is, I calculated back in SGD, right? It's 2,209. So basically, you paid Really nothing for it, and you get extra things. Okay? All right? I'll answer a question later on, right? But there are, of course, no free lunch. There are terms and conditions. Okay, so you have to meet these terms and conditions. And for my students, you know the deal, and these terms and conditions are really not tough to hit it. Okay, so it's available for new and existing customers. So if you're existing customers of 8cap, yes, you do get the deal. However, you must use this link here. Okay, without using this link to apply, right, you do not qualify. Okay, meaning that, right, we need to know that you come from us. Okay, so maybe at the back of your mind, right, you say, hey, Beanie, you say no free lunch, right? How come they can give me $1,500 cashback? So what is the catch? The catch is that if you buy products, right, there are some companies or a lot of companies, they offer all these affiliate program. I am passing you the affiliate fee that I'm supposed to receive back all to you, and I'm paying actually extra. Okay, so this is the catch here. That means I'm not getting any affiliate fee from this thing. I'm passing all that to you. So can I pass $200 to you? Yes, I can. Can I pass $500 to you? Yes, I can. But I decided to pass all. All right, and because of in a way, my status in the whole industry, they are able to give 1,500. Not many can get this deal. I have to fly to Australia to wine and dine with them. Okay, that's my sacrifice. Okay, now, so please use this link. Existing customers of 8cap must seek permission. All these in our website. You must fund 7,000 SGD, and this is your capital. It belongs to you. All right, and you must trade 2 standard lots. That's the deal. 2 standard lots is easy to do it. Okay, you go to the website. I will teach you how to do that in the video. Basically, you need a few minutes to complete that. Okay, but you have to open an account before the 30th of Sep, because the deal expire 30th of Sep. Please don't do last minute, because open account means you have to fund also the account. Okay, try not to do before like last minute. Okay, but anyway, you want to get this 2-year deal, you have to do it quick and soon. Okay, before 31st of July. All right, this standard lot is in FX. If you do stocks, they have to recalculate for you, but basically FX. So a lot of people use gold, use euro, hit, done already. Okay, because when you go enter in out, quick, all right, you have this loss cover. Your loss that is how to say that you incurred, right, during fulfilling the 2 standard lots, quick in, quick out, open and then close immediately, open, close immediately, right, will be covered under the loss cover. Okay, all right, so let me just answer a few questions. The R session is done together with the Plus. Yeah, it's done together with the Plus students, but eventually it will be separated. If I have a Tradingview Essential plan, how do I enjoy this TV subscription? You can take your existing Essential plan, receipt, and claim it. Okay? Or you can subscribe another 1 more year and then claim for another 1 more year. Okay? Hand holding at what time? Hand holding afternoon and night time. So you have to refer the schedule at our website. 7 SGD and 1,500 SGD cashback can be withdrawn. Yes, there is no terms and condition to restrict you from withdrawing. But please don't do like don't do this. You fund 7,000 and then you get the 1,500. Right? You withdraw everything. This is very bad. You take the offer. You take the deal if you are really serious in trading. Okay, you are really serious in trading, right? Because I went there, I negotiated a deal, then I have like all of you putting 7,000 and all of you withdrawing everything immediately. It's going to look so bad. And then in the future, my other clients cannot get this deal. Okay? All right? So you only do it, only sign it, right? Only get the course only if you're interested to trade with me. Okay? All right. So this is something, please, I appeal to all of you. If you need your student to go and dine and okay. Is tag indicator also MD4, MD5? The answer is no, not yet, but it will be ported over. Old student, hi, boss code. Thanks a lot. Yes. Relearn, yes. Okay, please relearn, please get the new deal. Yeah. Any timeline when R will be done separately in Tor and Tor Pro? I think after I come back from my business trip, that's somewhere in August. Can it cap and tag trade using TradingView directly? Yes. I'm already in area on daily signal, so I need to pay the same. If you are taking Tor Pro as a new course, right, then yes, you have to pay as of my other students. Okay, remember, pay cash. Pay cash. If you are premium TradingView subscriber, yes, you can claim 155.40, but you have to meet all the criteria. You have to pay for Tor Pro, you have to get their account, you have to fund 7,000, you have to trade the 2 lots, and then you just give your premium receipt right to them, and they give you 155.40 USD, okay, into your trading account. What do you mean by fully refunded fee? That means that you pay me 1,005 as cost fee, right? You meet all these criteria, the broker would give you 1,005 cashed into your trading account, and you can withdraw that. So this is called cashback. That means that you give $1,500 as the cost fee, the broker will give you $1,500 as the cost fee. On top of that, it will give you $500 of loss cover. That means the first 500 losses is covered. Now, you have to understand, right, why the first $500 is covered. You have beginner's luck, but after a while, what happened? You have losses. So I really want you to start trading, okay, to overcome that fear, to make sure that you learn how to trade. So that's why I put in the $500 loss cover. When I got go casino and say that, oh yeah, loss is my business, right? Only this deal here. Understand? Okay. After 12 months, what happened? After 12 months, if you're profitable, you continue to pay me. If not, you wait for see whether got new deal. That's what all my students love. Okay. You can use no, you can't use Alum in the TradingView, but Alum comes with 8 cap also. 8 cap also have MT4, MT5. Are there US stock signals as I don't trade Forex? Well, I won't say that there are US stock signals or not US stock signals, right? Basically, you use the indicator for your stocks. So, for example, if you are interested in Tesla, okay, and then you put the indicator into Tesla and you see when is the buy point, right? So I won't say that there are stock signals. I would say that, for example, you read something about ARM. You put the indicator into ARM, and instead of you calculating the buy point, you can use our indicator tag to go and get the buy point. Okay. Okay, so next one, go. So what is the difference between Tor Plus? So I have another course here, which is Tor Plus. Essentially, this is the old course, okay? The existing course. I won't say old course, existing course, right? So it covers wash and rinse, all right? It gives you 12 months. It does not have tag, okay? It doesn't have, it gives you 12 months the alien washed. Okay, so basically it's about the same. The price is 1,002. So this deal is provided by another broker called XC. So what they are giving you is this $1,200 cashback, $500 loss cover, and the VPS of 6 months. Okay, because we do have the robot. So the total deal that they're giving is about 1984 SGD. Okay, so what is the term and condition? Same thing is new and existing customer. You must use our link here. You fund $500 Sing dollar. Okay, that is your capital. Additional $500 if you want the VPS deal. You trade 2 standard lot. You open an account before 30th of October. Okay, but for us, the deal offers 30th of July because even if they are giving you the cashback deal, as long as we don't offer the deal, then no deal. Okay, so we have to offer this deal, and right now we are offering the deal until 30th of July. Okay, all right. Okay, now next slide here. What is the difference? What course to take? Which course to take? I think that's more important. So let me just cover this one for you. Okay, so for those students who have been with me for some time, they will be taking the Plus. So it's the same thing as the idea of Apple phone. All right, so the Plus is bigger size, but it's cheaper. Okay, But if you want additional things, then you go to the Pro. So the Plus would be like a core strategy. The Pro would be your essential upgrade. So the Plus will cover wash and rinse, is more into index, forex, and swing trading. We do stocks too, but not really a lot of them. Okay. So the Pro, there will be more stocks and would be on of the shorter term trading. Like for example, you can use the 1 hour, you can use the 15 minutes, you can use the 5 minutes to trade that. It includes a Tradingview tech indicator. Otherwise, the support included, right? Okay, you can see is basically quite generic, which is the same. Okay, now all of them offers a cashback and the price is slightly different. For example, the Plus is 1,002, the cashback is 100%. The Pro is 1,005, the cashback is 100%. In a way, right, all got cashback. Okay, meaning that you pay for the fee, all right, you get the cashback. That means that you essentially pay zero for the cost, right? So therefore, today I have a special deal for you, which is if you buy Top Pro, that means you buy the Pro, all right, and you can request a $120 off coupon to use in Top Plus. So essentially, your Top Plus is a discount of 10%. And if you are my students, you know that I don't give offer. I don't give offs. All right. So I'll give extra months. I'll give some, like a special price. But so far, I have not given any discount for Plus. This is the first time, and this is for you. Okay. Seriously, this is the first time this is for you, right? The reason is why I never give, okay? Because we should not be making money from the cashback. So if you pay 1,002, you'll be receiving 1,002, right? By having a off for you, you are actually getting a extra $120 from the cashback, okay? Now, why I'm giving you this is because my requirement is you use Pay Now or internet banking. Okay, so I'm passing my saving from a payment gateway, which is credit card payment gateway, to you. Okay, as simple as that. All right. So for the first 30 packs only, until 31st July, you get from us the $120 coupon. All right, to buy Top Plus, and then because you have already bought Top Pro. Okay, understand this one here?